Kicked out as a teen for false rumors spread by my brother. Years later, my parents saw my success and demanded money after abandoning me. I remember the exact moment my life fell apart. I was 17, standing in the middle of our dim kitchen. A half-eaten bowl of cereal sat on the counter. My father's face turned a shade of red I had never seen before. My mother stood behind him, arms crossed tightly, lips pressed so firmly together they could have sliced glass. My younger brother, Caleb, sat smugly on the stairs. He was 15, 2 years younger, but infinitely more cunning. Somehow, he had convinced our parents that I was dangerous, that I had stolen from them, that I had threatened him. It was all lies. I never found out exactly what he told them, only that it shattered my world. "You're not welcome here anymore," my father growled. "Pack your things. Get out. Now." "But, Dad, I didn't." "Don't play innocent. Caleb told us everything." Everything. Meaning whatever twisted story Caleb had cooked up. My mother said nothing. She simply turned her back and walked away. And just like that, I was gone. They kicked me out with a duffel bag, a cracked phone, and $73 in my bank account. No plan. No goodbye. No second chances. The first week was a blur. I slept in libraries during the day, crashed on a friend's couch at night, until his parents found out and made me leave. I bounced from one odd job to another, sleeping in basements, stairwells, wherever I could. But I never stopped moving forward. Because I couldn't afford to stop. 10 years passed. I'm 27 now. I own a digital design agency. What started as freelance work on a borrowed laptop turned into a company with 15 employees across the country. We work with major international brands. I wear custom suits. I fly business class. I give keynote speeches. And I never forgot. I never forgot the way my dad looked at me, like I was nothing. I never forgot the silence from my mother. Cold, final. And I never forgot the look on Caleb's face, triumphant. I built everything without them. Every dollar, every contract, every win. I earned it. Then, one day, I stepped off a stage after a keynote in San Diego. My phone buzzed. An Instagram message request. "Mom." I stared at it for a long moment. "Hey, sweetheart. We saw your interview on TV. We're so proud of you. Dad and I would love to reconnect. Maybe dinner sometime." No apology. No mention of what happened. Just a casual message, as if nothing had happened. As if they hadn't left me to survive alone. I didn't respond. Not then. But they didn't stop. The messages kept coming. First from my mom, then from my dad. And finally, from Caleb. "Hey, big bro. I guess I owe you a drink, huh? You've really made it. Let's catch up." That was the breaking point. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Locked down every account. Shielded all assets. Changed my number. Told my assistant to screen every unknown contact. But I still got curious. One night, I found myself scrolling through Caleb's Instagram. He still lived in our old hometown. Some average job. Partying like he was still 17. Nothing had changed. And that's when it hit me. They needed me now. Dad had retired early and blown his savings on a failed business. Mom had health issues. Caleb? He was coasting, as usual. Now that I was someone, they wanted a piece of it. So I gave them exactly what they deserved. But not how they expected. I agreed to meet. Once. On my terms. I replied. "Dinner. Saturday. 7 p.m. Levier Restaurant. Be on time." Levier was one of the most expensive restaurants in the city. White tablecloths, crystal glasses, waiters who spoke in whispers. I walked in at 7 p.m. sharp, wearing a navy suit and a watch worth more than my dad's old truck. They were already seated. My mother stood and beamed like it was Christmas. "Oh, honey, you look so handsome." My father nodded stiffly, trying to look stern, but I could see it in his eyes. He wasn't here for love. We sat. Menus were placed silently. My mother started rambling. How much she missed me, how hard it had been to kick me out, how it was all a misunderstanding and a difficult time for everyone. She even implied they thought I'd come back on my own. I said nothing. Then my father spoke. Straight to the point. "We're proud of what you've accomplished. Your mom's health isn't great. We could use a little help. Things haven't been easy financially." I looked at them, and I felt nothing. No rage. No sadness. Just clarity. I took a slow sip of water and said, calm and clear, "You kicked me out. Left me with nothing. Not because I deserved it, but because you believed a lie. A lie Caleb made up." My mother looked down. My father clenched his jaw. I went on. "I owe you nothing. Not a cent. You weren't there when I cried in alleyways. You weren't there when I starved so I could pay for online courses. But now that I'm successful, suddenly, you remember me?" They were silent. My mother whispered, "We made a mistake." I stood. "This dinner? It's all you're getting. The bill's paid. Good night. And I walked out. Outside, I took a deep breath. The air smelled like evening and victory. I didn't let their cheap redemption story wreck what I built. But the story wasn't over yet. A few weeks later, I got a letter. From Caleb. I know I ruined your life. I did it out of jealousy. You were always better, smarter, stronger. I knew they'd believe me. I just wanted to see you fall. I read it 3 times. At the end, he wrote, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I've watched you grow. You didn't just survive. You won. You're better than all of us. Those words didn't change the past. But I kept the letter. Not out of sentiment, but as proof. Proof that I survived. Not because of them, but in spite of them. Now, I tell my story not out of bitterness, but as a reminder. Sometimes, family isn't who you're born to. It's who stands by you when you fall. It's who doesn't abandon you, who doesn't betray you. I built my life from the ashes of rejection, pain, and silence. And it's beautiful, because every win was mine. Because I survived when I was meant to vanish. And I became everything they said I couldn't.